Mike, hello, my name is Ruth Easley. I am the Executive Director for the Espresso Service Network. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Our mission at the Espresso Service Network is to empower commercial espresso service. So basically, we want to help improve it. So today I would like to present an idea to you for change in our industry. I chose this format because a lot of times when I speak with people about espresso repair, emotions can run really high. So by presenting to you this idea in this way, it'll give you a chance to mull it over. I'm hoping that you'll share it with your colleagues at La Marzocco and then come back to me with your concerns, your ideas, anything you've got. My hope is that this video will start a conversation to bring us together so that we can work as a team to help support our commercial espresso service companies while improving the quality of espresso service our equipment owners are receiving here in the United States. Before I begin, though, I would like to share with you one way the Espresso Service Network is helping to support our commercial espresso service companies. So let me share my screen. This is the Espresso Service Network's website. This is where we sell commercial espresso equipment on behalf of service companies. You can read about our program here, Provider Sales Program. It's an FAQ. We are different than other online retailers because we are commission-based only. We take the bulk of our profits and place them into the hands of the service company that will be providing the installation and any warranty repair services. I believe that a portion of profits from equipment sales is vital to quality espresso service. So by providing service companies with this type of support, it allows them to invest in the resources that they need to provide quality service. For example, education, but not just basic education, continuing education, education in water treatment, customer service training, and dispatch training. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in the United States, our average response time to an emergency service call is 24 hours. Mike, we are failing our equipment owners, and we could dramatically reduce our response times just by providing quality dispatch training. The second thing we like to see our service companies invest in is their own employees. Now, I know that you know that service companies spend thousands of dollars training their service technicians only to lose them to better paying jobs. Profits from sales empower service companies to invest in their service technicians by providing competitive wages. And then lastly, in our service agreement, we ask the service companies to purchase a minimum inventory of OEM parts. So when we ship the equipment, the parts inventory ships with that equipment. And now if they already have a parts inventory established, then the funds can allow them to purchase parts like SCASEs, clothing that identifies them as professionals, or even invest in more fuel efficient vehicles. My proposal or suggestion today is that I believe La Marzocco would benefit from moving to service agreements. And here's what I mean by that. When you have a retailer or a distributor that sells out of their service area, in which they are going to be looking to a third-party service company to install and provide warranty repair services, that retailer be required to purchase a service agreement. Now, I know that you're very aware of an animosity that we have in our industry, and it comes from the belief that there are retailers that are selling way below minimum advertised price. Now, as a person that owns their own service company, there's absolutely a time and a place for us to sell equipment at a discounted price. However, it should never be in someone else's service area. So as a person that has their own service company, I can tell you that when I sell a La Marzocco espresso machine, I take a portion of the profits and invest them into maintaining, sustaining, or creating resources that I need to provide the customer with quality service. So when a retailer sells out of their service area, the need to support service does not magically disappear. If a retailer is selling at minimum advertised price, then we know that there's more than enough money for them to invest in a service contract, um, to invest in the service company that will be supporting their customers' equipment. The wonderful thing about service agreements is that it clearly defines expectations. So when we present a service agreement to a service company, we are saying, this is what we expect. They're agreeing to those terms, and now we can hold them accountable. Now, Mike, if you're sitting there saying to yourself, you know what, Ruth, there is absolutely no way La Marzocco would require their retailers to purchase service agreements, I would actually understand that position. But service companies are starting to realize the need for more support through equipment sales. But we want to avoid service companies from establishing their own service agreements and establishing their own pricing. I think service agreements, this is a wonderful opportunity for La Marzocco to reach out to the service community and say, we want to work with you to establish fair pricing for our retailers and for our service companies so that everyone is treated fairly. And I think it's a great way for La Marzocco to build many relationships in the service community. One of the questions you might be asking yourself is, how do we fairly award service agreements to service companies? Now, on the Espresso Service Network website, we have the National Espresso Service Directory, and every service company has a profile page. And on that profile page is a review system. And anyone that has received service from a service company can go on their profile page and write a review. I want to let you know that in the espresso industry, we are all reluctant to write a negative review on a service company. The reason for that is a lot of times we just don't have a choice in service companies. And so if we write a negative review, we feel like, you know what? That service company is going to know it was me. And now I'm going to burn my bridge and I'm going to be left with no service company. And poor service is better than no service. But I also want to let you know that in the espresso industry, we are not reluctant to write positive reviews. So when we put two service companies side by side, the service company with reviews outshines service companies with no review. No review basically is the same thing as having poor reviews. It is my position that when it comes to awarding service companies with service agreements, that decision should be made by the equipment buyer. Now, I know that you're probably thinking there's no way we're going to allow this, but I'm not saying that La Marzocco doesn't have the right to say that you can't choose that service company. They are not an approved service company. Absolutely, you have the right to do that. But when it comes to an equipment buyer's business, they have the right, or should have the right, to choose who they want to work with. Now, if we rob them of that decision, now we are taking on the responsibility of the relationship between the service company and the equipment owner. And if we allow the equipment owner to make the decision, they will be more apt to be committed to that relationship. Now, I've been working in espresso service for well over 20 years, and I can tell you that 90% of the time I am competing with my competitors over price. Retailers, roasters, equipment owners their number one concern when it comes to a espresso service is the price on labor. And as we compete and try to lower our pricing in any way that we can, we drive the quality and responsiveness of our service down with it. The wonderful thing about service agreements is that it puts all service companies at the same price. So a customer has the choice between any service company in their area. And now they are not going to be looking at a service company because the service company offers a lower price. They're going to look at the service company by the quality of its service. So they're going to visit the service directory. They're going to get on the phone and maybe call some other espresso bars and say, which service company do you use? What do you like? So now we're competing for quality of service, not who can be the cheapest. Service agreements are there to rise service companies up to a different standard of service, a higher level of service. Yes, I believe that there will be service companies that will not be able to meet the standards that we set. And I don't believe that they can compete very long in the industry with service companies that will be receiving service agreements. And now they might be able to lower their service rates low enough to get some business, but when a service company is receiving service agreements, I think their labor rates will be low already. So service agreements are there to improve the quality of espresso service. Mike, I want to leave you with this one last thought. Service companies need to sell because they need the profits from sales to invest in the resources they need to provide quality espresso service. But they don't sell very well. And there's a very logical reason for that. One is service companies take probably, most of them, 100% of their resources and invest them in the things that they need to provide service. We are also driven by time. We need to be here because a manager is leaving. We need to be over here because a machine is about to go into a rush hour. So selling is a very time-consuming thing. So service technicians focus on sales, on service over sales, as they should. If we can create partnerships between sales and service, we have approximately 300 service companies out there. Once they know that La Marzocco supports their efforts through service agreements, now you've got salespeople, right? Because when they see a customer that is about to start looking for a machine or should be looking for a machine, they can say, here's my partner's card. I think the La Marzocco GB5 would be excellent for you. Talk to him about features. And let me say this to you, if you decide to go with a La Marzocco, I will give you a complimentary annual preventative maintenance just to support your purchase. So now sales and service is working together to move equipment. Okay, I'm sorry, I probably talked way too long. Thank you so much, Mike, for taking the time to listen to me go on. Please let me know what you think, and I hope you have a great day.